Hello friends, hello and welcome back to the bench. How's everybody doing today? I see we already have Tesla's Apple and George and had that phone. How you guys doing? Michael, how you doing, man? Electro Rep 3, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. It's gonna be a little low energy stream because for some reason I cannot wake up today. I already had like 3 coffees and Coke, and by Coke I mean Coca-Cola, of course, not to be misunderstood. And I don't know. I'm up. I'm walking. I'm talking, but I'm not awake. And I don't know if I'm just overworked perhaps, or just didn't sleep well last night. Not sure what's up, but that's what we get. But I finally have my awesome solder wire. Finally, I have good solder. And it will be available on my store in the tools section. It's 185 blend, so it's somewhere in between of low melt, right? Well, significantly higher temperature than low melt, but on the lower end of all kinds of leaded solders. It flows really well. I love it. And the reason I started carrying solder, or I'm gonna start carrying solder, is because it's hard to get good solder lately. I'm not sure why, but back in the day I would just purchase pretty much any solder off eBay and it worked perfectly fine. Now I purchased, I don't know, 4 or 5 different kinds, and each one worse than the previous one. So I finally, reached out to my connections and figured, hey, if you guys give me a good price, I'll buy some of your solder. So yeah, I don't make it, obviously. It's made in China. I just slap my logo on it and put a little bit of margin on it. It's not a huge margin, and you can get it essentially for roughly the same price, maybe a couple bucks less if you order it from China. So and the shipping is much faster from me than you would get from China. So that's the idea. I will probably make it available today, but I only have 3 spools at the moment. These are 50-gram spools, 0.6 millimeter, so kind of average. I also will have 0.3 millimeter and 0.8 millimeter, and these are the diameters that I usually use. All right, let's see. Joey, how you doing, man? Loriuka, how's it going, man? SZZ, welcome. Freestone, how you doing, man? Let's see how the solder performs. So we're gonna do a misfire repair on the this is AP60A, so I think Tribeca. It doesn't really matter, but first it needs a little bit of a drink and a little bit of massage to get the conformal coating off, and then we'll see how it goes. But I haven't tested this batch. That's why it's not on the store yet, because essentially my idea is that, since I don't make it, maybe I will be making my own solder in the future. I'm kind of experimenting with stuff. My idea is to do the blend with essentially with a little bit of bismuth in it, so lead, bismuth and tin, but you know, I'm still experimenting, and obviously you know, if it's made in US, it's gonna have to be significantly more expensive than what you make in China, and some of that is related to the contents of lead in it, right? So some regulatory problems essentially, right? Environmental factors and all that kind of stuff. So it's more of an kind of an experiment that I'm doing. It's not going to be a viable business to make solder in the US, but we'll see. Maybe. But with this one, you know, the primary service that you get from me is just I stand guard on the quality. So before each batch is released, I test it, and if it performs as I expect, then it makes it to my store. Otherwise, it doesn't. And you know, we'll see how reliable the manufacturer will be. Because you know how it is with those Chinese companies, right? They'll send you a first batch or second batch or even third batch of a great product, and then the product will go way, the quality will go way down once it's established as a good product. It is 6337, not 6040. Yeah, or around there. Yeah, apart from a bad sleep, I'm doing okay. And we have some, looks like we have some, yeah, and the FPS is low, and we have some blinking, some screen tearing. So I would have to, I guess, I could restart the computer, but well, let's see if we can just ignore this for now, and we'll see. Maybe it'll subside, but probably not. So all right. First, let's get the chip off, and we'll see how well the solder performs. Then we have to do some recapping on a 486 machine for Eric. And then I think we have a BIOS. I didn't open the box yet, so I'm not sure. But I think we have a BIOS job to do as well. And if I remember correctly, the customer tried to desolder the chip, but you know how it is with these QFN BIOS chips, right? They require surprisingly a lot of heat. So if you don't have very good tools or a lot of experience, it's difficult. So the customer, I think, if I remember correctly, there are some pads ripped off the board. So we're gonna have to do some restoring over there. So that's gonna be fun. And that'll be that. Let's see if we can get rid of all of that solder, but we don't really need to. Just for the fun of it. Northwest Repair. How you doing, man? Give it a drink and some massage. I need that, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a drink and a massage today. For sure. But it's, well, we'll see. After these couple repairs, I'm gonna try to take it easy. Just get some rest, because I think I'm just a little bit overworked. Also, now I get a lot more exercise than I'm used to. So before my shop was on the second floor or third floor, right? So I would get some exercise going down to the garage and back to the apartment, which was already like a little strenuous on me. But now, you know, now I don't drive. I don't have a car at the moment, so I have to walk everywhere. And in the building now, you know, even to go to the bathroom, you have to walk like through the entire building, and I'm kind of in the middle, so I have to walk all the way towards one wall, then across the other wall, and then across the other wall, just to go to the bathroom. Same with the, you know, packages and stuff. Luckily I don't have to drive to the post office and stuff to, you know, to drop off packages and stuff, so that's very convenient. But a lot of walking, and even to, you know, to go for a smoke, same thing. Look at this. Look, well, my tip is a little bit crappy, but look at this. That's the solder that I needed, and that's even without preheating. And this is the like a tip of the solder, so it's a little bit squished over here, so there's a little bit of contamination from the packing tape that was holding it. But yeah, no bridging, no nothing. Well, the bridging and stuff, that's mainly because of the flux. But even with my flux, when you have crappy solder, like this one, or the one that one of the 3 or 4 spools that I bought, it's yeah, it's even with really good flux, crappy solder still won't work. So, and that saves so much time, because when the, you know, this is very simple repair, but when the solder doesn't want to listen to you, it won't stick, and you know, that kind of stuff, then it's a nightmarish situation. And the worst part is that if you have crappy solder with this particular repair, it's all about the solder and flux, but mainly solder. So if you use crappy solder, you send it back to the customer, and the car misfires on different cylinders now, or the misfire didn't go away, or it went away on cylinder 1, but now it misfires on cylinder 6, which, you know, results in additional costs for you and the customer. And that is exactly what we're waiting for now. This is not this one, but I'm waiting for a return on the other one, and that's the one where I didn't have the solder yet. I did like 3 or 4 in a row, and 3 worked perfectly fine, and the 4th one, the misfire not only didn't go away on cylinder 1, but also started misfiring constantly on cylinder number 2. So half of, and that's a 4-cylinder engine. So essentially half of the car doesn't work, half of the engine doesn't work. And it's all because of the crappy solder. I probably should have, you know, because I knew I was running low on solder. But I had like a full drawer of different kinds of solder. And I thought that they would work just as well, but no. And even though it's 6337, technically the same kind, but for some reason, I don't know what they put in there, or contamination or what have you, but it just doesn't work. Are you still willing to take a job, work for someone, or is it better working for yourself, building your own name? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably, especially, you know, in my business, you know, if I get a job that's a, you know, $130,000, $150,000 plus health insurance plus 401k, paid vacation, maybe stock options, that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's not like, you know, would I go work as a cashier in at Walmart? So, you know, it's a tough choice. You know, it's a lot easier having a job like that. And on top of that, I can still do my, you know, I've been running the shop for 3 years, working full time as a software engineer. So, especially if it's remote. So, I don't know. Probably, maybe. It greatly depends on the actual company, you know, because if it's a crappy job, like difficult project, you know, maybe difficult bosses, or, you know, stressful environment, fast-paced or stuff like that, then no. Even for, actually I'm gonna cut this, even for better money I would probably not take it. But if it's, you know, good money and good environment, good job, essentially, then yeah, I would definitely take it. Look at this. Even with the crappy tip, right? It catches perfectly fine. And the chip is cold now, so that's another challenge. But yeah, good solder is the boss. The big boss. A little more. See, that's if with good solder, it's a pleasure doing this, right? Because it just listens to you. It goes where you need it to go. It flows how you need it to flow. It's a pleasure. When you use crappy solder, it just, you know, really a frustrating experience. Not to mention time, right? Let me see. Let's see if I can show you the difference between this one and the crappy solder. Might actually catch well, because now the solder tip is kind of covered with you know, with good solder, so I would have to probably do see, it's running away. See that? It's forming a bubble at the end, and that's frustrating. See, it's just, yeah, it still had a little bit of good solder on it, so it did catch a little, but it's basically forming a big blob and it's running away. So normally in that situation, what you can do is just start here and catch it like this, right? So, you know, but that's really frustrating when you have to fight with solder. Not only you have to diagnose and fix the device, but then you also have to fight with crappy solder. So yeah, this is going to trash. So this is the solder wire made in China, 1mm grade A, 2% flux, 36 or 6337, right? Or this one, same thing, type H3, although this one is a little bit better. And you can also compare what they look like, right? These are the crappy ones, and look how nice and shiny my solder is. See the difference? Yeah. So these just essentially they go to trash. Maybe I'll just melt them and do something with them. I don't know, but no more crappy solder, which makes the everyday in the shop a lot easier. Good flux, good solder, and the life is easy. All right. Let's see. Wait, what? Did you fall into a flux massage oil festivity? Yeah, I think he is just flexing his wicking techniques and the latest batch of flux. Yeah. Of course. Although now my batches are pretty consistent. Enough that I don't have to worry about you know, testing them as much as I used to. Because back in the day, and by back in the day I mean just even a few months ago, or maybe a little more, well, last year essentially, I would have like boxes of batches that just didn't work out, right? Either the flow was not right, or acidity, or too thick, too thin, too much boiling, and that kind of stuff, right? So I had a lot of waste. Now every batch works perfectly fine, but it took, you know, it took some time to polish the procedure, polish my skill of making it, because it's essentially made by hand. So I also have a new tweezers. I'm thinking of carrying these in my store as well, although this is not something that you normally buy very often, but it also depends on how you treat them, right? If you use tweezers to scrape a conformal coating, or you know, the solder mask or what have you, then yeah, you have to replace tweezers often. But if you treat them right and you just use them for what they're meant to be used for, then you know, it'll last you years. Or if you just, you know, if you drop it, then yeah, it'll bend and it'll be not great. Tesla's Apple, can't say I've ever had bad solder. When was the last time you bought solder? Because I had the same experience until a few months ago. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it pretty much any solder. Either I was just lucky, or the quality went down. I don't know which one, but now it's the other way around. It's actually harder to find good solder than bad solder. And before, it felt like it was hard to find bad solder. Hector, hi everyone, hello. Hi from Czech Republic. Newman. Cześć. Find a good boss. Right. Bordev, how you doing, man? What is that? IC608? Yes, sir. IC608. Chinese boogers and 3D printed rice is what this solder made from. Very possible, Tony. Very possible. I've been very happy with Weller. Yeah, I think Weller is a reputable company, but again, sometimes it comes with the sticker, and it's not actually that. It's fake essentially. So 100% true. Good flux plus good solder equals repair success very high. Yeah. Northwest, where are you finding the triple layered wick? Not triple, double. Yeah. I ordered couple of samples. Seller said this is double 100%, so we'll see. All right. Definitely share a link once you find it, but again, it will probably be the same problem. It'll be few batches will be really good, and then the quality will go down. We'll see. I like the Chemtronics wick, but it's freaking expensive. Yeah. Well, my wick is it's nothing to write home about, but it's consistent at least. Yeah, at least I know what I'm getting. Because before I would buy those little wicks like this, right? But everything, even if I got it from the same source, it would be great for one purpose, or one batch would be great, then I would order more and it would be crappy, and I don't know. Now it's let's see. So mine comes in a nicely 3D printed little spool, right? And this one's 3 millimeters, right? And it's soaked in Omega flux, just low acidity. It's essentially primarily rosin, because my first batch that I sent to Tony and to Nathan, it was soaked in this flux that we're using here right now, but it's too acidic. It would, after the next day, it would turn green, which still technically worked, but I don't know. And since it was soaked in a Whiskey Tango, which contains glycerin, I had a report from Tony that it stinks. And yeah, it will be stinky if you don't keep it in the fridge, because glycerin goes bad. Yeah, we're so frustrating wicking with mono junk. Well, that's what I do. It works for me. Probably a year ago, Tony make a video if it works well out. Yeah, most likely AliExpress item. All right. What are you working on? This is roughly 2008, maybe 2009, maybe 2007 Subaru. This one is, I think, is Tribeca, and we're solving misfire. I get it on their Amazon. Yeah, Amazon used to be a good source of reliable stuff, reliable consumables, like solder, like wicks and stuff like that. And I think back then they used to care, and now they don't care. So I find it pretty much the same problems with that I get on eBay. I get the same problems on Amazon. The only benefit is that Amazon is just quick in delivery, and there are no problems with returns and stuff like that you might have on eBay. But other than that, it's the same stuff. I need a better zoom on this because I can't see if it's aligned. Well, looks like it's aligned. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. And now the true testament of good solder, because this part is the most important part. This is where the good solder becomes very important. Sorry for off topic. Where are you from in Poland? Katowice, Częstochowa, those regions. Silesia, essentially. Now, what did I do here? Now let's clean the tip, but again, with good solder, even with dirty tip, it still works perfectly fine. Look at that, beautiful. Need I say more? We still have a lot more here. Let's put a little more. Actually, even a little more. And there. That should be it. It just goes where it needs to go, and it stays where it needs to stay. And there. Yeah. Wish I had this solder a little earlier. And the ground is always the trickiest one, but not with good flux and good solder. No. I think this is it. It just takes few seconds with good equipment or good consumables, essentially. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll put a little more over here on the ground. I went a little stingy on it. What do you think? Too stingy? Yeah. I'll put a little more. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's oversaturate it. It should still work perfectly fine, meaning the excess should stay on the tip, not bridging the pads. That is our expectation. Oh, I still have plenty of solder over here. So let's start with this side. We're bridging a bit. It's a bit much. And this one's not bridging. There. And the ground. Come on. Alright, why are we bridging here? There. And the excess is staying on the tip. That's essentially I would show you I would show you what it's what it looks like when you use crappy solder, but I really don't want to. Just Just trust me that it's a really frustrating experience if you do it with crappy solder. I could also, you know, do the comparison doing this with like Kingbow flux or some other crappy types of flux. But again, it's you can take my word. Let's see, what do we have? What did I miss? What did I miss? Not sure why people don't use flux on their wigs. Well, without flux, I mean, the majority of wigs that you just buy, they're pre-soaked in either a flux or rosin, or you know, combination of two. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I just drown everything in flux because it not only improves the flow, but it needs to deoxidize the area, keep the air away. So I like it completely drowned in flux. Are you using the PC you built yesterday for the stream? Not yet, but I will tomorrow. I was going to wait for the cooler to arrive before swapping, but I have other reasons to do it. So for now, I'm just gonna like keep an eye on the temperature, and you know, it's not overheating unless you really, you know, put a lot of stress on it. So tomorrow will be the new computer will be used. For now, we're using the same one. That's why we got a little bit of flickering and stuff. So yeah. Quick junk is still junk. Good point. Right. I only need to buy some solder about a year ago. Before that, I was using the solder I inherited from my dad when he died 15 years previously. He was telecoms engineer and was a big reel. Yes, those old kinds of solder. Yeah, and those are usually that's usually the good stuff that you can no longer get. Dawno wyemigrowałeś? About oh my god, 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago, something like that. So not very. But first time I moved to US for a couple of years, so that was around 2000. I don't remember, 2008, 2007. I think it was 2007 to 2009. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not quite fresh off the boat, but I'm not like a long-term immigrant just yet. Dave's, for me, it's just how much solder the wig can absorb. Right, yeah. That's why the double layer, triple layer, whatever, that's gonna soak a lot more. But it also, depending on the purpose, because if you have very tight weave, the solder doesn't want to kind of creep through it. If you have light weave, it creeps a little better, but it saturates really quickly. So, you know, the perfect combination is somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Joe Tech, hello all. Ever tried chisel tip? Curved tips does not always work the best because it's round. True. For, you know, for this particular one, this particular chip, a chisel tip works perfectly fine as well. And I have used the chisel tip for this, but I just kind of got used to the bent tip. It's my favorite. So I just use it for as much stuff as I can, and as you can see, the results are pretty good as well. But if the chip is smaller, then that roundness is a problem. But then you can just use the very tip of the tip, right? If you use which is the coldest part essentially. If you use like the middle of the tip, then you don't make a good contact, and yeah, and that makes it more difficult. But you can subsidize with hot air. It also works perfectly fine. But yeah, chisel tip is actually a very nice combination of pretty much the best of all worlds, because you can achieve high precision, yet you have good heating surface. So you can work with larger stuff, but still keep the high precision. But this is what we want to see. Nice and shiny, roughly the same amount of solder on each pin, and going all the way to the top of the chip. Back in the day, I would do it. You can still find my old videos where I do it pin by pin with chisel tip. Oh, that was so that this repair would take me an hour at least, sometimes closer to 2 hours. And now, when I just work without talking, I can do it in 10-15 minutes tops. And we are done. Looks good. Looks good. We'll see. All right. Did you ever try chisel tip? Yeah. Dobra cena. Można wiedzieć jakiej marki. This is, well, you can get it at my store. Not just yet, but you will be able to after today. I'll probably release it in the afternoon, in the evening today. As far as what is the manufacturer of it, I have no idea. No idea. That's why, you know, for now I got only few reels, few spools, and I'm gonna get some more, and like essentially small batches, right? And once the quality goes down, because it probably will, then I'm just gonna not carry it anymore, and that'll be it. That'll be that. What's the cheap solder I'm referring to? One of these. This is crap. This is much. This one's much older. I got it a lot. So some time ago. This one I got recently, and it's even worse. And you can see by the shininess of these blends, they're not very shiny. So I'm not sure whether maybe they're not lead free, although it says that it's you know, 6337 should be regular leaded solder, but I'm not sure. Do I advertise Subaru board repair? Well, through my videos. Yes, I'm a Subaru ECM repair expert. Not by choice. When I started this business, I thought I would be doing what Tony does. GPUs or laptops and stuff like that, but there was a lot of work that needed to be done on ECMs and very little competition, so I just kind of fell into this business. That's how it is sometimes. But you know, when I was thinking of specializing in GPUs and stuff, you know, that was before I learned a lot about GPUs, and you know, I thought it was simpler. Now I know that it's not, and it can be super time consuming. And well, I guess now is the better business, better market for it, because GPUs are expensive. Back when I was starting, it was post crypto fever era, so all those miners were selling those GPUs from the mining machines for, I don't know, next to nothing. They're super cheap. I even have one that has no monitor plugs, so you can't use it as a display adapter, but you can still use it as a GPU, right? So there was a lot of them and relatively cheap. Now there's another boom on AI. We just got done with the crypto nonsense, now AI nonsense, and again it requires GPUs. So they're expensive again. Oh, and you need a battery tester as well, yeah? Yes, I do ship to Poland. I ship everywhere. I mean, in rare cases, because sometimes, typically UPS expedited, it has at the moment so far 100% delivery rate, so no returns, so nothing, and it's around $20, $22, $23, either to UK, Germany, Austria, Belgium, Poland. But in some cases, and it depends on the exact location, it doesn't depend on the country alone. To one place in France or in Italy, I can deliver for $20, but another place in the same country, suddenly the UPS expedited is not available, and USPS International, they want like $60 or $70, right? So in that case, I just cancel the order and I send a refund. So in either case, you know, you're not really risking anything. So either UPS expedited delivers, in which case you're definitely gonna get it, or it doesn't deliver and you just get your money back. Right. Recap motherboard. There are at least 1-2 leaked caps. It doesn't look like it's spread, but please assess damage under the caps. If there is, quote me on trace repair. I last booted this board about a year ago with the busted caps. Even with the busted caps, it boots. Getting it out of the system, which is a PITA, the heatsink is stuck on the CPU. I was going to heat it up and remove it so you get better access, but I figured you have the tools warm it up by the time. Yeah. This machine used to work in pretty harsh conditions and also has survived a fire. I tried to clean it up as best as I could, but it still may have lots of dust, carbon buildup in places. It's literally a brave little toaster. Compaq EZ 2200. that used to handle 3D modeling for Half-Life 1 mods before it became an air-conditioned workshop machine. All right. Let's see what we can do. Remember these? But all PCI, no ISA. So this is much better, much newer, essentially, device. We have nice VGA. These are USB. Damn. A latest technology. And the RAM, which looks like DDR RAM, so that's not SIM drives. There's a little bit of damage here, I think. Oh no, just 30. Okay, so that's the carbon buildup, I guess, from the fire. Oh, Ventev is here. The owner of this baby, yeah? That's perfect timing. Oh yeah, we have bulging. We're gonna have to recap it all, because the bulging, if these bulged up, then the rest is probably dry. So we may as well just recap all of them. We got markings on the board, perfect. Let's see. Nice piece of history, yeah? No AGP, sadly, under the i815 chipset uses the AGP. My kids are going crazy right now, though, trying to get them to clean the living room. Oh, I know how it is, man. Yes, the recap and mole, and there is some corrosion under one or two of the cups. All right, let's start removing them and see what we can find. So first I'm gonna warm it up over here. Then we're gonna use our beautiful solder. I was thinking of using low melt for this, because I want to expose it to as low temperature as I can. But this solder is gonna work just fine. Yeah, well, it's a beautiful experience using good solder. Look at that. Nah, I got used to that crappy solder, you know. So now, yeah, it sounds like I'm just, you know, over advertising my own product, but it's just I can't not talk about it, because I got used to the crappy solder. So that's why. It's not that I'm just grifting, although I'm grifting a little bit as well. A little from column A, a little from column B. But this month I made the rent, so I'm very happy about that. because I was worried that because of due to the move and all of that, I was expecting that I won't be able to make rent, and and I'm gonna be negative this month. But I am not going to be negative. Which is at the moment all I need. And then we'll think about actually making some money. Looks like I didn't mix it too well. And let's try one last time. And if it doesn't release, that's fine. We're just gonna use Heather and it'll just pop on the other side. Oh, maybe it's good. It's not gonna pop by itself. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Well, this one did, but this one's not letting loose. Well, then let's do a little Heather and just push it out. Come on. In there. What is this cap? Yeah, a little bulged. And this is 1500. I'm curious what the ESR is going to be on it. Because sometimes, even though the capacitance goes completely away, right, on the bulged caps or dry caps, but the ESR can show really well on it. So I'm just curious here. Whoa, whoa! Over 900 ESR, 900 milliamps. So huge. Huge. So yeah, I'm surprised this computer even worked. Very much so. Let me. I lost the chart. Lost the chart. Yes, so probably the traces are fine. Let's see on this one. Yeah, I don't see any damage. Yeah, and this is going to chipset, which is good. Because the only difficult part over here would be if the memory traces are compromised, because I cannot easily restore memory traces. But anything other than that, we should be able to restore no problem. Okay, 2 more caps over here. And More. And one more. More. Do I have enough time this month to make next month rent? I'm not sure. Today is the 20th, so I still have like 10 days. Yeah, it would be nice. I have some devices coming, but also, you know, it's a combination. You know, I'll make decent money on one repair, but then either not make any money on 2 or 3 repairs, or lose some few bucks on one repair. You know, so at the end of the month, it just I just kind of tally it up, and I just look at the account balance, right? If there's enough to pay the rent, I'm happy. But also, you know, since I collect tax from sales and stuff, and not all of that money that is in the bank account is mine. So even if I don't turn profit, right? If I just have enough in the account to pay the bills and stuff, then at the end of the year, I still owe money to IRS. So preferably, the bank account balance should be going up, and at the end of the year, I should have some balance over there to pay taxes. That's why it's easier with eBay, because then I just, you know, eBay just gives me 1099, and I just deduct, you know, taxes that were paid, and shipping and returns, all that kind of stuff, right? But with my own store, I have to do all that myself. I think this year is gonna be or next year, but for this year, it's gonna be the first time I'm actually gonna hire an accountant. I wonder if I can afford that. Okay. So these are all the same. I'll have to look into that. See, there's not much time that I have in the day to even think about stuff like that. A little loose, not sure. There, this one fell nicely. Yeah, I don't see any damage. I don't even see any signs of leaking. I think they were only bulged up and nothing beyond that. Mm. The personal property ones are the fun ones, yeah, I bet. Hey Rob, welcome to the big league. At the end of the day, we're all working for the IRS. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm getting to these. We got 4 more of the big boys. And these are the most important ones. Because these ones, we'll see. But the 6.3 volt ones are the important ones. So get one over here. This one as well. This one. Let's see. Not a lot going on in the chat. Did you guys hear about this reflective pool stuff? They're supposed to fix that and they messed it up. And if they didn't mess it up, we wouldn't even know that there was no proper procedure to actually select the company that would do that, because it was done in the emergency, as an emergency procedure, stuff like that. Crazy. Oh, this one. This one exploded. Let's see. Is it There's one more for sure, but let's see. If it's dry inside, yeah, because you can't even tell a little bit, yeah, a little bit bulging, because it primarily bulged up on the other side. And if it's dry, it's bone dry. So it did leak. So there might be some damage after all. Let's get this one off. Make sure I'm not desoldering crystal, because this is the cup and this is the crystal. So we'll see the damage on the other side. There should be a little bit of, well, we'll see, because that mask that protects the board is actually, I don't know, not bad. They don't make them like that anymore. And this one actually looks not bad. Doesn't look like it's bulged up. Doesn't look, it's probably dry. Well, maybe a little bit of bulging, but sometimes they actually come like that from the factory. You see a little tiny bit of bulging. Or at least it seems like it's bulged up, but okay. Oh. Oh. Now the question is, do we actually have damage to the board? Let's hope we don't. So now we'll see how resilient those old boards were compared to the new ones. On the new board, the modern board, this would be a big problem. Luckily, these are all power lines over here. High current traces, not data traces. So restoration here is not going to be very challenging. But so far, so good. But we need to use a different kind of Q-tip. They don't make these anymore, or at least I can't get them anymore. But these are really good. They're good for scraping. Yeah. No damage. Oh. Not even any damage to the markings on the board, let alone like traces or stuff. Beautiful. Oh, and the other one over here. Oh, and this is, well, let's hope. Let us hope. Because here we have data traces that might be very challenging to actually restore. I mean, as long as it's not memory, we should be good. If it's just like some signals, we should be good. But if it's like memory line or anything like that, then we won't be able to restore that. But since as you said, the board did work with this damage, I would expect that we're good here. And so far, it looks like it's just surface gunk on it. So the cap leaked, but it was not able to penetrate the protective layer of the board. Yeah, we're looking good. All good. Oh, Nate has some better toothbrushes. I use these ones. They're really good. But for this kind of gunk, I have the nice little scrapers that are kind of like Q-tips, but this is not cotton. This is some kind of material. It doesn't shed or anything, and it's really good at scraping. But this is going away with just regular Q-tip, so it's not a significant damage. Okay, everything is clean. Now let's just clean the solder. And autofocus doesn't want to focus. So let's do manual focus. And let's just do a little bit of wicking. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get all that solder from here, but that's fine. We can just push the cup from the other side. It should be fine. Yeah. Mm. Yes, so, oh, now you can invoice and charge $9,000 for the repair. I wish. I wish the customer could afford that as well. Wish we could all afford repairs like this, $9,000. And yes, to answer your question, that is the electrolyte. So the electrolyte didn't do any damage because was there no current going through? Which yes, also is true. If there's no current going through, then the electrolyte by itself usually won't do much damage. But in this case, it's also the conformal coating on the board, that lacquer, protective lacquer on it, is really good. They don't make them like that anymore. I don't know. So yeah, it's a little bit of both. Oh, now it caught focus. Mm. Come on, a little bit more. Or we can just do this there. And come on. Okay, that should do it. And is this the last one? They used to make things to last. Yes, these boards, this equipment we're working on here, it was made to last. Back then, we used to make things to last. And then someone figured that, hey, if we make things to last, then our business no longer works. It's not only because they kind of changed their opinions on it, but how market became. So, you know, when these things were being made, it was still, you know, it was growth. It was the growth period. So the market was unsaturated. There was little competition, that kind of stuff. So it paid off if you made things to last. The companies that made things to last, they actually made good money. But once the market saturated and all that kind of stuff, then it became obvious that if we make things to last, we don't make money anymore. I got 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 over here. Looks like we still have a little bit of solder on these. Yeah. Let's see if we can get rid of that. Amusingly, this is one of Compact's disposable internet PCs, EZ2200. Okay, well, but as you can see, disposable still had higher quality than long-term support items nowadays. So even disposable stuff was made better back then than non-disposable stuff we make nowadays. And that's the main problem with those data centers and stuff, because you know, it costs a lot of money to build. It's a long-term investment. It's not gonna, you know, not gonna give you the return on investment anytime soon. There's very little room to grow, right? It's not like it's gonna sustain people that live in the area or whatever, right, with long-term employment or anything like that. It's just short-term, you know, build it and go away. But then all of that equipment needs to be maintained, right? So maintenance is costly. And then all of those power components need to be replaced after maybe a decade, maybe even less than a decade, because it depends on the power. The power components actually have short lifetime because they're constantly working at its highest capability, essentially, right? So all of those power stages, all of that needs to be replaced every few years. And all of that is being invested into just based on projections that we're going to be using AI for everything, and you know, we're all going to be replaced and stuff, and everybody's going to be using AI. But what would you need AI if you don't have a job, right? What are you going to use the AI for? So I think right now the only reason there are still investments pouring in is FOMO. Once FOMO goes away, we're gonna quickly realize that now we don't want to build that data center, or we just want to, you know, sell that data center for scrap. ideally, no one would need to work with AI. Not the other way around, where people complain they can't work, or what I actually think the complaint is, not making enough money. Well, if you're working and you know, AI is doing work for you, right? Who's paying for that work? Who needs that work if AI does it, right? If no one needs that work, no one's going to pay for that work. Or we just all going to be working for AI, essentially. Everyone's going to be working for the company store, essentially. That's also a possibility. It worked well in Tennessee, right? Am I an engineer? Well, a software engineer, yeah. But, you know, I don't have an engineering degree. They just call us software engineers nowadays, or they used to. Now they call us unemployed. But back in the day, yeah, they would call us software engineers. But only in the US, right? In Poland, I was called a software developer. And thank you for your business. I will ship the tester either later today or tomorrow. Doesn't really matter because it's not going to be picked up today anyways. So if the UPS expedited delivers, it should be there in less than a week. Sometimes it takes just 4 days, depending on location. If I said AI was going to cure cancer, And would you then accept it? Accept what? Your claim? It's not even a claim, it's a prediction, right? Yeah, one day AI is gonna cure cancer, and I'm gonna say not the AI that we have right now. It's not capable of curing cancer. But is there going to be an AI in the future that will be capable of curing cancer? Perhaps. Not large language models, though. Three, and we have 4 over here. Okay. 4. Hmm. Well, so the claim is that yeah, the future AI, well, we're just getting started. But started with what? We haven't started working on any AI that would be capable of doing what you're describing. So far, all AI revolves around neural networks and large language models. These are not capable of doing what you're describing. So we haven't actually started yet. Current state, or currently, AI is more capable of convincing you that it can do stuff, right? Is it a step? Yeah, but since when? We've been using neural networks since the early 70s successfully, right? It only now it creates this illusion because you can talk to the network, right? Using natural language, right? And you can find stuff, right? Because it's pretty good at searching and stuff and aggregating stuff. But it also works the same way the same way image compression works, right? If you take the raw image from the camera and it's say 20-25 megabytes, right? And you compress it into 1 megabyte. And you can see that image, right? You compare image original to the compressed image and it looks the same. But if you start analyzing pixel by pixel, you will see that there's numerous differences. It's similar, right? If you take pixel number 71 from the original and compare it with pixel number 71 on the compressed image, they're not the same. They're close, they're similar. Overall image looks the same, but you have those differences. And the same is true for neural networks when it comes to searching and solving problems and stuff like that. It's going to be making mistakes. It's going to be hallucinating, but that's a different problem. Actually, the hallucination is a different problem. But as far as the finding information and answering questions, it will get stuff wrong because it has to compress all that training data into a usable network, right? So not only it's unable to cure cancer, but it's also unable to memorize and pass the test for for MD. And when the AI shysters brag about AI being able to solve certain tests and pass it better than humans do, it's only because it was trained for that exact test, and it still won't get it 100% right, but it'll get 95, 98% right, maybe at the best, or somewhere in the 80s. So seemingly better than humans, sure, but it was trained just to pass that test. It's not a showcase of capabilities of the neural network. It's just a gimmick to to fool you into thinking that it's actually better. And that's all for the investments. So we can show that, yeah, this is a better machine than any doctor. But just because they can take the test. And I think final argument from my side is all of these people that are selling this to you, saying that it will not only replace you but can do your job better and stuff like that. It's never wrong or stuff like that. But they don't actually use AI, right? Is Sam Altman using AI instead of a lawyer? Is he using AI instead of a tax attorney or accountant? If something hurts, does he go to AI or go to the doctor? Right? They don't use their own product. Right? So I will be convinced if one of those CEOs of AI companies is gonna say that my entire company is run by AI and the AI is doing my taxes and curing my kids, or giving me medical advice and legal advice, and then I'll say, okay, at least you're putting your money where your mouth is, right? But of course they don't, and lawyers that did try that, not doing their due diligence. There was one case that I can remember. He was disbarred, right? He can no longer practice law because he cited case law that didn't exist because AI said that was a real case, and he even asked the AI, like, is it a real case? And the AI said, yes, it's a real case. No, it wasn't, but he didn't check, and now he's no longer a lawyer. Then same with taxes, right? You let AI do your taxes. Well, if there's anything wrong, you go to jail, not AI. And unfortunately, that is the problem, because if the AI has been deployed to many places where it's capable of making mistakes that have real repercussions, right? Some older lady was arrested at gunpoint and incarcerated or detained for weeks because AI face recognition recognized her as a, I don't remember, either robbery or passing the fake checks or something like that, right? Now she had an ironclad alibi, but first everybody believed that, you know, if AI says that this is her, this must be her, right? That also resulted in her losing her car because she was unable to pay the loan, right? To make a car payment. So the car was towed and sold. So she lost the car, not to mention horrible experience, right? So you know, someone didn't do their due diligence, because they could have just, you know, fine, the AI recognized her, so now let's see, does she have an alibi? That should have been first thing to check, not just immediately arrest her. Then the problem of AI access control. Employees go to work and, you know, and but instead of using the punch cards, they get facial recognition, and you know, the employee gets a notification that, hey, you were not you were missing from work on Wednesday, right? But on Wednesday, yeah, I did go to work. Everybody saw me, and you know, but sorry, AI says that you did not report for work on Wednesday. So not only you don't get paid for Wednesday, but also you have unexplained absence. So you get a strike on your record and all that kind of stuff, right? Crazy. And it's not like you can even, you know, argue with anyone, because it's all automated. These are real repercussions of people that don't want to do their jobs, and they were convinced that the job can be done better by AI. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Self-driving has an accident. You hear about that the most, but you don't hear about all the miles it drives without an accident. Well, we don't hear about those times it drives without the accident because they don't share that information, because they skew everything. They you know, all those numbers are always inflated. And it's not the point that or what consolation to me it is that the car drove, you know, 2 million miles without an accident, if that one time it had an accident, you know, killed my family member, you know. Is that a consolation to me that, you know, other than your you know, family member dying in Tesla, or what was the other one, well, whatever, self-driving car, it drove for 1 million miles without an accident. So don't complain, Ra. Well, the main issue over here is that if it has the same accident rate as humans do, then what do we need it for? It should be better. If it's not better, then we don't need it. If it's worse, then we definitely don't need it. And so far, no one has been able to show that it drives better than humans. So far, humans drive better than AI. And also, the main issue also is around, liability. Who pays the compensation? And let's just focus on the just property damage, right? The regular liability insurance, right? The AI car crashed into your car. Everybody's fine, everything's good, but your car is totaled, so now you lost essentially, say, $30,000. So who pays that 30 grand? Person who was not operating the car because AI was operating the car, the company that produced that AI, the city that allowed that car to be operated by the computer, the manufacturer of the electronics that technically were controlling the steering wheel and all of those problems. The question is it worth it? If it at least actually worked, I could have a discussion, consider pros and cons. But so far, it doesn't work. We had autopilots for a long time now in aviation, right? And do they work? Well, it kind of depends. Because for the pilot to use autopilot, the pilot needs to be trained properly. How to use it, how to operate it. And there's plenty of nuances. And a pretty well-known case is of a Tennessee fly girl that crashed using autopilot. Because the way she, I don't know, well, she was not competent. She never should have had her pilot's license. But the only reason she did get it was because she, tried enough times that finally she found the instructor that just gave her the okay. Like 20 times or whatever. All right. So she tried many times. You know how it is, especially at school when you just can't get one exam passed, then you just switch professors, right? And you keep going, and eventually one of the professors will say, "Oh my God, I'm tired of seeing you. Here it is. You passed, barely, but you passed, right?" So that's how she got her license, and she switched to high power aircraft. And the way autopilot works in that aircraft is that it will just be blinking, notifying you that you need to adjust the trim. And what it does, it just maintains the altitude, nothing more. Yes, TN Fly Girl crashed because she didn't know how to use it, not because of it. It's my point that the autopilot, it is not autonomous, right? You as a operator work with the autopilot, and the same for the autopilot in the car, right? It's not like the car drives by itself, so you need to know how to operate it. But in that case, because at least in the air, if you know how to operate it, so if she did adjust the trim, it would be fine, right? But since she didn't, then the plane just kept going up and down and increasing speed until it essentially reached critical speed, where you essentially lose the ability to control the aircraft. In the car, same thing. but you know, on the highway and stuff, right? Yeah, it could be useful, but it's not like you can stop looking, right? And we see countless examples that there's an object on the road. Any driver would have stopped or at least slowed down or something, and Autopilot just didn't recognize the object, so full speed ahead, right? Because it's probably nothing. So what exactly is the point of that? Because again, in the air, you can utilize that because you don't you're in the air, right? You have you know, transponders to notify you when the other planes are in the air, right? You're on the designated you know, trajectory. You know you're not going to crash into anyone, but on the road, stuff happens that has never happened before, right? And you need to react to it. So what's the point of even having such a system if it's so unreliable? You have to continuously monitor that. It's kind of like, you know, me putting my son behind the wheel and letting him drive on the highway, right? It's only stressful because I have to monitor and be ready to take over at any second, right? To save our lives. So why would I use that, right? What exactly is the purpose? If I can drive better than the machine, why would I need that machine, right? So yeah, that's my point essentially. Right, board is recapped. Looking pretty. Here. There you go. Now it's ready to go. It's beautifully made. Beautiful board. What do we have? 2, 4, 6, 7 cups. Luckily, I had enough in stock. And it's so much better experience with this solder. I don't know, Eric, if you want the souvenir cups. I'll just put them next to it. I'll see, maybe you're sentimental about the cups on your board. Some people are. What do we have? What do we have, gentlemen? It shall run Windows 98 and NetBSD and play many matches of Sid Meier's Gettysburg against my son and his Socket 370. Nice. Aviation is still working on one-way communication system. It's ridiculous. Pozdrowienia, bruv. Your skills are really impressive. Thank you so much. I think they're relatively basic, but I appreciate that. No, the flag has always been there, but I noticed that yeah, it's one one corner detached. So yeah, I just noticed that today. What the heck is this? Oh, okay. All right. That's for review. That's not for repair. I'll have to. Oh, but they want it for. I don't remember. They did tell me when they want the, because they're running a campaign for this, and I think it's on the 6th of the next month, something like that. So I have to record the video, but release it on the specific day. Yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, I'll get to the other board because I need to get the socket, and to get the socket, I need to update the address, and well, first I need to find it, and then depending on DigiKey or Mouser, I need to update the address, and so yeah, I'll get to that one as well. And we have the return label. So this is for Westlake Computers from Ohio. Whoa. Huge socket. This is the, I think, 2011-3 or something like that. I have one board like this or similar also with but 2 banks on each side of the CPU. Crazy. And it's super heavy, but I'm gonna have to remove the bracket before working on this, but obviously we're not gonna do it today because it takes forever. And we got the replacement socket. Huge. And the return label. Beautiful. I don't know if they paid via eBay or store. 7, 8 boards for socket replacement. Damn. I'm gonna have to dedicate one day to just kind of do as many as I can, but it's 2 hours per board, so it's not like I can speed that up, you know. Supply and demand. Yeah, I should probably increase the price maybe or something. Oh, that giving the customer the old computer is a great way to keep your own trash bin empty, yeah. Man, Tony, you can't release a video during another channel's live stream. Sure you can. No rush, every time you fix something is an excuse for me to swing by. Yeah, that's why I have to spread it around, so every weekend you can drop by. Otherwise, yeah, that's why I don't, I still have a TriStar to do on that iPhone. But for now, I have the board for you, so for the next weekend will be iPhone or something. Hey Raf, did you get any work from someone by me about an ABS module? Was a while ago. I did for Subaru. No, but that was for airbag system. I don't remember any ABS problems. But yeah, that's an airbag, and I think no ABS. Yeah, not sure. Not sure. Yeah, time to up the prices. Maybe. Hope. I wish. Watch list, supply and demand. We tell him that literally all the time, Bent. Yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. My Citroën electric E Berlingo BCM is malfunctioning. Error after error, and the dash on the dash. But it's removed all the restrictions holding it back. Now has a higher top speed and faster 0 to 60 time. Interesting. Let's see, battery analyzer will help using a GPU like 4070 Super for brute force searching codes. No. No, at the moment it's optimized at the, yeah, you can't optimize it any further. Probably depending on the chip, but this is the fastest speed we can achieve right now. So to test all combinations, it's about a month and a half of brute forcing. In worst case scenario, if you're lucky, maybe a couple weeks. He mentions you in his video, so it only helps you. It does, yeah. However, no ABS traction control, under inflation warning, etc. Any Pennsylvania customers from Pennsylvania with a ABS issue? I gave them your name. No. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't remember anything relating to ABS, specifically to ABS issues. So no, but I do have a guy in Pennsylvania that I can recommend for like replacements, programming, that kind of stuff. It's pricey, but he can do a lot of stuff that requires a lot of equipment. I might just leave it, more fun. Yeah. Nice. I have an issue with my minivan. I feel like it's at ECU. What kind of minivan is that? If it's something that is easy to open, you can send it in and let's take a look. Do you keep books rough? You usually should chart out what jobs you're doing and how much they cost you, and then adjust prices based on that data. Remember why Waffle House is named Waffle House. Right. Well, the majority of my repairs are just services, and as far as you know, like in your case, the capacitors, you know, it's hard to keep, you know, keep that, you know, how much did I pay for those particular cups. It's recapping is $50, and I don't care how many cups. Well, unless it's like highly specialized and, you know, 70 cups to recap and $10 a capacitor, then yeah, obviously that's different. What equipment is used to restore Subaru's ECU? Is it UART or JTAG? It is neither. It's either CAN or K-line. It's different, but it's more similar to UART. Oh, 2016 Town and Country. Okay, so that's ECM is not your problem. Your problem is in the fuse box. You can I have a listing for that exact repair. Yeah, so we pay $12 for cups and like $38. I don't think that is good. Well, I'm not a businessman, you know. I have a, you know, skills to do repairs. If I didn't have those skills, I might have been a better businessman. But I'm a better engineer / technician than a businessman. Yeah. I should ask AI how to run a business. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see, how much do I charge for that repair? I don't even remember. What's removal? Looks like I charged $350 for that. Let me paste it in the chat. There. So, if you want your town and country done, and what are the issues? Let me guess. The fuel pump is cutting out, so the car often dies. AC has problems, intermittent problems. The windows going up and down, intermittent problems. if these are your symptoms, then that's the repair. I essentially replace oh, transmission issues. Yeah, so that's probably, yeah, so that's probably different. Could it be an ECM issue? I would think TCM would be more very random, huh? I don't know if this causes transmission issues. Haven't heard of that. So no, that's probably probably not your problem, not this. Oh, it doesn't have TCM, so it's a TCM and ECM / PCM in one box. Yeah, it very well could be, but I don't know how they're built. If they're like, but usually on Dodge, they're difficult to open. I had one Dodge. Oh no, actually. Yeah, it's not necessarily, but he said it's 2016. It's not a big, because last Dodge that I did, it opened easily, but it's all you know, epoxy inside, so very difficult to work with it. But, you know, we could try recapping. Oh. I don't know, man. Okay. Vendevs, try to write something now. Because you were accidentally hidden by a moderator. There you go. No, it was an accident. No. I mean, I think it was an accident. Was it an accident, Dave, or you just don't like Vendev? Sure. No, I don't. I don't think we ever had to mute anyone or kick anyone. We don't get a lot of viewers on my streams, so you know, we don't really need much moderation here. What do we have viewership wise? 28. Yeah. Small streams, small crowds. But it's easier for me right now to just do the stream rather than record a video, then you know, do the editing and stuff like that. I will have to do that though, because I don't want to do the socket replacements on stream because it's super boring. You know, 2 hours of waiting for the board to, well, 1 hour to waiting for the board to warm up. I was thinking of actually modifying that that profile to reduce the time a little bit, maybe to 45 minutes, something like that. But I have to think about it. There's a Canadian friend that does the same thing, and recently we had a discussion regarding the memory issues after the replacement. Essentially the board works after the socket replacement, but 2 memory banks stopped working, and he started having that issue repeatedly on few boards. But then you know, I advised to increase the preheating, right, and slow down the profile essentially, and it did start producing better results, but also keeping the stable temperature in the shop, or you know, around the machine, so it doesn't cool down, right? And this is something that I'm dealing with over here. So I'm thinking of building like a little chamber enclosure around the machine. So we'll see about that, if I can come up with something. I'll probably do that today. All right, viewership is dropping dramatically, looks like, because we're essentially done with the repairs. I'm gonna need to do some what do you call it? Some socket replacements. So all the easy stuff is repaired for today. Oh, I need to take a look at that Mercedes-Benz key fob. Let's see, you should double the view count at least. Oh, need to get on Twitch, and yeah. Should use Dave's AI to automatically edit out videos from the live stream. I know Nate does that. So he'll do the stream, so he has the stream, and then you see the video after, you know, after the stream, like extracted video. So that is an idea. For sure. Did we stop streaming? Why is the viewership dropped completely to 0? That's curious. Maybe I stopped streaming. No. That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Like completely went to 0. I don't know, maybe we got disconnected or something. Oh, you're still streaming, says 20 watching. Well, my analytics say 0. Weird. Well, it's probably time to get some something to eat. Anyways, it's like 4:30 my time, afternoon. And I gotta do some coding today, I think. Get the Rework Master a little bit pushed forward. Because I pretty much formulated everything what I want to have done, what I want to have done on the project. I just can't quite get around to it because it's a little bit more overwhelming. So step one is I need to build a BGA machine, essentially. Essentially for testing, right? Because without that, it's really difficult. Because there's only so much you can do with unit testing and feature testing and stuff like that, which is a good approach as well. But you know, if I've done exactly that in the past, it would be a lot easier, right? A lot of stuff I can code just using unit tests and maybe feature tests, end-to-end tests, that kind of stuff. Not even end-to-end tests. So I don't need the actual UI. I don't need the actual, you know, UX or anything like that just to make it work. But with this one, I haven't really done anything like that in the past. So I need to be able to test it to just kind of catch a direction where I want to take it. So I need to have the test machine, and I don't want to use the IR6500 for that purpose, because I use it for work, and I need to modify it. And this is 3-zone solution, so. And I gotta find some stuff that got lost during, what do you call it, during the move. I don't know if I can recover all that. Some of it got broken completely. Yes, Polska. So yeah. Once I have that, that will also give me some motivation, maybe. And I was thinking of doing that on the stream, but creative work like that is very difficult to make an entertaining stream from, or even watchable stream. You know what I mean? That would be really boring. It's essentially the same thing we did for the battery analyzer, but that was a lot easier actually. It's loud today. But what are you gonna do? Alrighty, I think we're gonna end the stream here. We got some work done. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. Either I'll just publish a video or we'll do the stream. But I definitely today I want to swap the computers, so I don't have to deal with this camera problems and all that kind of stuff. And I need to print some labels for the flux, and on this computer I don't have the fonts and the software to do it, so I need to do it from that computer, but the printer is now connected to this computer, so yeah, we gotta do the swap again and see how that works. Alrighty. Vendev, you're out. Okay, thanks a lot, man. And yeah, and thank you guys for joining me today. Good effort today. We made 50 bucks. No, actually we made a little more than 50 bucks. Because for ECMs I charge 160 for these, so we made good 200 bucks today. Plus maybe $1.25 from the stream. Alrighty, well, thank you guys very much. Thank you for all your discussions and ideas and your support, of course. And I guess I shall see you guys in the next one, which is going to be tomorrow. Take care, fellas.